Heaven Official's Blessing. Chapter 34. Audio source: WuShouWorldAudiobook.com. In the Great Martial Hall. Crown Prince meets Crown Prince. Before Xiao Lian's knees touched the floor, John Wu extended a hand and held his elbow, preventing him from kneeling. He sighed. Xian Le. Xiao Lian straightened once more and lowered his head. I'm sorry. John Wu watched him. Then do you admit to fault? I do, Xiao Lian replied. Then why don't you tell me where the fault lies? John Wu said. Xiao Lian was silent and John Wu shook his head. I didn't think you would know. The martial heavenly emperor slighted his head, gesturing for Xiao Lian to follow, and the two walked slowly towards the chambers behind the hall. As they walked, John Wu, with his hands cradled in front, commented, Xian Le's all grown up now. Xiao Lian didn't dare speak to that comment. John Wu continued, You've ascended for some time now, but not once have you reported into the Great Martial Hall. If anyone else was this impertinent, Lingwen Palace would have persecuted them directly. After his third ascension, Xiao Lian hadn't dared to see John Wu at the Great Martial Hall since he didn't know how to face the Great Lord, so he procrastinated and took his time. Of course I'm sorry earlier wasn't directed to this matter, and John Wu was cognizant. If your apology was for what happened in the past, then let it go. I refuse it. You had said it yourself, the past is the past, and we should forget what should be left behind. Xiao Lian grimaced. How could I forget? Then look to the future. There's still much we need you for. Xiao Lian rubbed his forehead. Xian Le's but a lowly rubbish god without power. There is no need for me. I only ask not to be burdensome. Why depreciate yourself? Didn't you perform splendidly in the last two cases? John Wu said. But I've offended General Pei. Mingguang is fine. You don't need to concern yourself with him, John Wu replied. But speaking of General Pei, they must now relate it to the subject of Hua Cheng. The scimitar Yi Ming. The crimson rain sought flower. Tell me, with whom did you engage when you descended this time? Xiao Lian softly cleared his throat. My lord, I swear I did nothing. Just one day by chance I encountered an interesting child on the road, and we spent some time together. I didn't think much of it. John Wu nodded. Chance encounter, child, supreme ghost king. Xian Le, you do know that if Mingguang was to question you further and you had confessed this in front of the other officials, what the consequences would be? Xian Le knows. Xiao Lian replied woefully. But the truth is thus. If others don't believe in my honest words, there is nothing I can do. I didn't dare to be truthful in front of them, so I am grateful for my lord's intervention. Naturally, I know you would not intentionally collude with the ghost realm, John Wu said. I am grateful of my lord's trust, Xiao Lian replied. However, with things thus, it may no longer be appropriate to send you to investigate an important matter that has surfaced. What is it? Xiao Lian inquired. At this time, the two of them had reached the chamber behind the Great Hall. The Great Hall and the back chamber was separated by a large mural, the front depicting the Golden Palace towering through a sea of clouds, radiant and brilliant. The back side of the mural was another depicting mountains and valleys of over 10,000 miles. Xiao Lian gazed at the mural. On the map there were many tiny pearls like stars, and each marked a great martial temple in the mortal realm. A pearl embedded on the map means there was a great martial temple built there. 800 years ago when John Wu brought the Xiao Lian who had ascended for the first time to the back chamber. The pearl stars on the mural weren't as dense, but now, the shimmering jewels seemed to be plentifully bestrewn, overwhelming in their radiance. John Wu stood before the mural and spoke. 7 days ago, many saw with their own eyes a dragon of fire abruptly soaring to the sky from a forest in the east. Xiao Lian's face dropped hearing those words. John Wu, with one hand behind his back, used the other and softly knocked on the mural once. That dragon of fire lasted for 2 incense time before burning out. Do you know what that means? The ascending fire dragon spell emits intense flames that do not harm. It's a call for help, Xiao Lian replied. That is correct. It was a distress signal, and it came from a heavenly official, Zhan Wu said. It's no ordinary call for help, it's one of desperation, Xiao Lian added. This ascending fire dragon spell with its intense flames that would not harm took an immense amount of power. And if the casting official was not careful, they could very well implode and destroy their spiritual core. Therefore, if not out of desperation, very few would go this route. Now that it appeared, it meant a heavenly official had fallen into grave danger. Are there any officials who went missing recently? Xiao Lian asked. The matter with the Banyu Pass was not the only reason all the officials were summoned back to court this time. The main purpose was to use this chance to investigate everyone's whereabouts. Other than those who usually do not show, like the Rain Master and the Earth Master, even those who couldn't make it back had reported in. After some thought, Xiao Lian speculated. Maybe it wasn't any of the officials from this term. Could it be any one of the retired officials? If that's the case, then I'm afraid our perimeters will largely expand. Many of the retired officials have long lost contact with the heavens. It would be difficult to determine who is the one in peril, Zhan Wu said. So this was probably why Ling Wen and many of the literature officials had dark circles under their eyes. They were busy working on this case, and certainly wouldn't have the time to investigate that boy with the human face plague from Mount Yuzhan. To corner a heavenly official to the point of using such a self-destructive spell, it must be the doing of great evil. Are there any demonic gatherings or lairs in that area? There is, Zhan Wu replied. He turned toward Xiao Lian. Do you know of the Ghost City? Xiao Lian thought about it and replied. I do. The Ghost City was the most prosperous place within the Ghost Realm, situated right at the crossroads of the mortal and the Ghost Realms. It was where all manners of spirits, ghosts, demons and monsters gathered by the swarms to conduct trades and exchanges. Cultivators of certain levels would also go to do business or seek information. Sometimes, there would also be heavenly officials in disguise, mixing in for curiosity's sakes or other unknown reasons. Of course, there were also those who'd enter by mistake, and would either be eaten alive, or scared to death. There had always been many tales of the Ghost City in the mortal realm since historic times. Xiao Lian remembered one of the stories had a man traveling at night who saw a bustling market before him with large red lanterns and colorful signs. He entered the market in high spirits but found that everyone around him had a mask, and if not hooded, then extremely ugly. Very curious. He didn't think deeply about it. Bought a bowl of noodles and sat down to eat, but as he ate the food didn't feel right, and when he looked closely, the noodles were actually squirming strands of hair. Xiao Lian brought himself back to the present, and Zhan Wu continued, after seeing that column of fire, I sent out officials to investigate that forest at once. However, whatever was there must have moved fast, and when they got there, there was no trace of anything suspicious. I worry that the other party will be even more guarded, so this time, I need someone to descend in secret and probe the Ghost City. We can't alert the enemy and have them move again. Is that why this couldn't be discussed openly at the Great Hall with everyone and let too many know? Xiao Lian said. That is correct, Zhan Wu replied. Then my lord, pray give Xianli the command. The first candidate I had in mind was originally you, Zhan Wu said. But for this, it may be inconvenient for you to go. How would it be inconvenient? Xiao Lian asked. First, the East is ruled by Lang Qianshu. If you should go, you must cooperate with him, Zhan Wu said. Was that it? Xiao Lian responded. That would not be a problem, please do not worry. Second, Zhan Wu continued. Do you know whose territory the Ghost City sits in? Taken aback, Xiao Lian said, unsure. It is Hua Cheng. Zhan Wu nodded his head slightly. Xiao Lian suddenly felt at ease and rubbed his forehead, but something else came to mind. That column of fire in the eastern forest blazed up 7 days ago. Coincidentally, it was 7 days ago when Hua Cheng left Puchi Shrine. The timing was impeccable. Was there a connection between the two events? Looks like your relationship with him is not bad, John Woo said. If you accidentally run into him, then all may still be well. However, should he have any connection to this case, if you feel awkward, then do not force yourself. If you have any other suggestions, do let me know. After a moment of silence, Xiao Lian said, I will go. John Woo looked at him. Xian Le, I know you're very capable and know what you're doing. However, I also know you always think the best of everyone. Hearing his words, Xiao Lian gave a small smile. Please don't say it like I'm a princess who has never left home. Those words really don't suit me anymore. John Woo still shook his head. I shouldn't comment on the friends you make, but I will still say this, be careful of Hua Cheng. Xiao Lian lowered his head in a bow, and said nothing. He should have responded with, yes, my lord. After all, it's all a habit by now. Yet, somehow, he really didn't want to say this. Yes. Especially of that wicked scimitar Yi Ming. Don't let it inflict any wounds upon you. John Woo continued. What's wrong with the scimitar? Xiao Lian asked, curious. The wounds inflicted by the wicked scimitar Yi Ming are all cursed. Even when healed, should Hua Cheng desire it, they shall bleed once more, John Woo replied. Xiao Lian couldn't tell where his sudden surge of confidence came from, but he didn't think Hua Cheng would hurt him at all. Still, he responded, Xian Le understands. John Woo nodded again. Having you take this case, I will naturally be at ease. If you don't feel any awkwardness, then even better. But still, going on this mission by yourself may be too much. Are there any other officials you'd like me to appoint to this case? It really doesn't matter, Xiao Lian said after some thought. But preferably someone easy to get along with. It'd be good if they're powerful so they can lend me some spiritual power from time to time. John Woo smiled. You struck out both Nanyang and Zanjian with the first condition. Truly, no one could say that the Feng Xin and Mu Qing now were personalities that were easy to get along with, and Xiao Lian smiled too. How goes between the three of you? Have you spoken with them yet? John Woo asked. The Heavenly Emperor himself never entered the spirit communication array, and thus naturally unaware of the buzzing chit-chats that went on among the officials. We spoke a few words, Xiao Lian replied. It's been so many years and yet you have only spoken a few words? John Woo inquired. Oh, that's right. I heard when you ascended this time, you destroyed many of your fellow officials' palaces and properties, and one of them was Nanyang. Xiao Lian cleared his throat, and used this chance to explain himself. I paid back that debt. All 8,880,000 merits. And for this, I need to thank my lord for giving me the opportunity to go to Mount Yuzhan. Thank Nanyang, John Woo replied. I heard Ling Wen say it was you who privately approached her to clear your debt of his reconstruction cost. Xiao Lian was stunned. I didn't know about this at all. No wonder those 8,880,000 merits were so easily repaid. So much of it was already forgiven. Yet at the time, it was Nanyang Palace that was the most damaged. They say half of the golden roof had collapsed. Nanyang made sure Ling Wen would not tell you, so naturally you were unaware. Since he did not want you to know, then it would be best to keep pretending to be ignorant, John Woo said. Xiao Lian didn't know how to feel about this. Complicated and bittersweet, his mind was clouded and all over the place. At last he sighed soundlessly and thought, truly, in this world, the words, don't tell anyone, are all empty. John Woo contemplated then said, if Nanyang and Zanjian will not, how about the Wind Master? Xiao Lian pondered the option. The Wind Master is good, but I don't know if she would want to go on this mission with me. The Wind Master is powerful, John Woo said. A lively person who enjoys making friends, and thus matches your first condition of easy to get along with. After the business with Ban Yu, the Wind Master has a good impression of you as well. I think you two will be alright. If you do not have any other questions, then descend with the Wind Master and investigate the ghost city. Also, yes, John Woo said languidly. Work hard, but do not force yourself. Xiao Lian was startled by those words, and smiled. What is my lord saying? I'm not forcing myself. John Woo patted Xiao Lian's shoulders and did not speak another word. The two spent another few moments discussing other administrative matters before John Woo summoned for the Wind Master and dismissed Xiao Lian. Leaving the Great Martial Hall, Xiao Lian stood for a good moment by the gates, looking about before he finally followed the martial deity avenue to leave the heavenly court. After he reached the heavenly staircase that led to the mortal realm, he loitered about waiting for the Wind Master. But after a while, the one who appeared wasn't the lady cultivator in white, but another white-clad cultivator. The cultivator was glowing, spiritual aura in abundance surrounding him. It was the one from the conference at the Great Martial Hall, Qingshan. He waved his whisk and smiled. Greetings, Your Highness. Xiao Lian smiled back. Greetings, fellow cultivator. Truthfully, he really wanted to ask what his title was but thought it'd be rude to do so. He was about to sneak a peek in his scroll to see just which heavenly official was named Qingshan when the person in question walked up to him and exclaimed, Let's go check out the underworld. Xiao Lian was taken aback. My friend, I'm waiting for someone. Hearing this, the cultivator placed his whisk into the back collar of his outer robe and turned around in wonder. Who are you waiting for? I'm waiting for the Wind Master, Xiao Lian replied. The white-clad cultivator looked even more confused. I'm right here. Xiao Lian's brows jumped. You're the Wind Master. The other flashed open his fan, and started fanning. I am the Wind Master. Was there ever any doubt? Did you not know who I was? Have you never heard of my name, the Wind Master Qingshan? His tone was irrefutable and absolute, as if Xiao Lian not knowing his name was an impossible thing to happen. The folding fan had the word for wind, feng, written slantedly on the front. The back side had 3 inkling lines drawn the exact same fan the lady cultivator in white had in her hand. Xiao Lian suddenly recalled. Fu Yao had mentioned that some upper court heavenly officials, under special circumstances, have the ability to transform their appearance. While at Banyu, Nanfeng had also uttered an incomplete sentence. The Wind Master had always been. Been what? A man? After getting dragged for a few steps, Xiao Lian still couldn't fully process this information. Lord Wind Master, you, why did you disguise yourself as a woman last time? What? Was I not beautiful? The Wind Master asked. Yes, but Xiao Lian was still confused. If I was beautiful then there's no but. As long as I looked good. The Wind Master smiled brightly. Of course it's because I'd look good that I was in disguise. Having said that, he looked to have suddenly come to an idea, and closed his fan. He gave Xiao Lian a once-over with a calculated look, and spoke after a moment. Speaking of which, don't we need to be undercover for this mission to the Ghost City? Xiao Lian,